Hi, folks. Status update on the stupid crash. I haven't made a video in a few days, so I felt like making a video talking about basically what happened because it was worse than I thought it was. So basically, following up on the crash, I ate shit a lot harder than I thought I did because I was riding through construction, if you don't recall, and there was this sudden dip in the middle of the road that dipped down like at least that much that I can remember. So basically I flew off it at full speed and my front tire lifted up off the ground, and I was only riding with one hand, folks. Keep that in mind. I was riding one-handed because I was spazzing out, making stupid videos. So as I was riding with one hand and my front tire lifted off the ground, it immediately started turning to the left like that. My tire immediately started turning like that. So when it hit the ground, I immediately just fell over. Like I just went straight down at full speed. I hit the ground hard as hell. And obviously I walked away from it like a fucking boss. I just ended up spazzing out more. And then I went home and it didn't really feel that bad at first. So I figured, okay, I'll be able to just, sleep it off or whatever. So I took a shower, I put some ointment on all the road rash that I got, and I went to sleep. But I ended up not being able to sleep because my arm started swelling up like crazy and it started feeling stiff as shit. And it started hurting so much I could barely move my damn arm, and it kept me up all night. I didn't sleep at all. I was just tossing and turning until like 10 in the morning. And I was getting tired of this excruciating pain, and my ribs were hurting like a bitch too. So I was like, fuck this, I'm going to the hospital. I really didn't want to go to the hospital for obvious reasons, because it's like the last place I would want to be in during these dark times. But I kind of, I didn't really have much of a choice at that time because my arm was hurting like such a bitch every time I would barely move it. And I already was pretty certain that I broke something because I know when something breaks. I've broken my middle finger before when I was playing basketball several years ago because I hit the basketball. I was trying to catch the damn ball and it hit my middle finger like this. My middle finger was like this when I grabbed it, and it broke my middle finger. And then my middle finger swelled up to like twice the size of my other fingers for like the next month because I broke that. But luckily I didn't have to like do anything about it. I didn't even go to the doctor, I just ignored it. The same thing was happening to my damn arm, but it was a lot worse. So knowing that it was like, if it was really this bad to the point of where it's gonna keep me up all night and I didn't sleep at all, I'm like, yeah, I should probably go to the damn emergency room. Even though I was really hesitant to because of the stupid coronavirus that's terrorizing the world and I don't want to deal with that crap. But it got to the point of where I didn't really have a choice because it was causing too many problems. So I went to the emergency room and I was there for about a couple hours. I had my N95 mask on and a face shield. And luckily, every single person in the emergency room also had masks on. Some of them had face shields on. I didn't see one person there that didn't have a mask on. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll be in the clear. Maybe I don't have to worry about getting sick because I'm covered, everyone else is covered. And, I see the doctors putting on new gloves and they check out one person and then they immediately just toss the gloves in the trash and go over to the next person and get a new pair of gloves. Like, they're apparently taking this serious. They're going through like a box of gloves every 10 minutes. That's how paranoid everyone is over this virus. It's like, why can't everyone put in this kind of effort with trying to avoid this virus? Because clearly the only people that are taking this serious are healthcare workers. Because if everyone was taking this serious, then we wouldn't be getting nearly 500,000 infections every year. But either way, I was in the emergency room for a couple hours and they took x-rays of my arm and my ribs. And my ribs are fine. According to the x-rays, there was no break. My ribs aren't broken. I guess they're just badly bruised. Or if there is the doctor said if there is a fracture in my ribs, it's too small for them to see anything on the x-ray. So they just said, don't worry about the ribs, and those will heal on their own. But my arm was definitely broken. My arm is fucked. Like, it is broken. So they put me in a sling which is annoying because I can't move my arm very much, which is a good thing, obviously. And I have to follow up with my primary care physician in a few days, and they're probably gonna put me in a cast, and I gotta wear that stupid thing for like probably a month. So I'm not gonna be able to use my right arm for the next month. And I know I'm definitely not gonna be able to use my arm for the next month, folks, because every time I try to like move my arm at all, I try to twist it like this way or that way, even a slight, like a tiny bit, it hurts like a bitch. Like it just feels weird and it hurts, and it definitely feels like, yeah, it's broken. X-rays already confirmed that it's broken. This is the first time in my life I have crashed so many times on bikes, scooters, everything. I've crashed more times than I can count. I've never broken anything. The most I've ever gotten was bruises and some road rash. This doesn't make any sense. When I crashed my cruiser after that stupid truck cut me off at the intersection, like that didn't even hurt nearly as much. I didn't break anything. Even the road rash was not even as severe. This doesn't make any fucking sense. You'd think if I would have broken something, it would have been when I got into that like real motorcycle accident on the street. Especially because I wasn't wearing any gear either. Like what? It's just, none of this makes sense. The only thing that makes it sort of make sense is the fact that when I crashed, I just went straight down at full speed. Like I hit the ground so fucking hard that if you were there when it actually happened, like you probably could have felt the thump. Like you could hear this loud fucking thump. It almost sounds like the Hulk just landed there. It was ridiculous. So that's the only explanation to why my arm is broken. Damn it. I have to wear this stupid thing for probably the next couple days until I can see my doctor, which means I have to go back and potentially expose myself to the stupid coronavirus again. This is retarded. But the sooner I get this stupid thing off, the better, damn it. This thing is itchy as hell. I can't itch my arm because I can't take this stupid thing off. There's like fiberglass on here, so I can't just rip it off. I keep wanting to scratch my arm because this fuzzy stuff right here is all up inside here for padding, and it's so annoying, it's so itchy. I mean, it's not uncomfortable, but it just makes my arm itch, damn it. Ugh. But yeah, when I was up at like 10 in the morning and my ribs started hurting more than usual, like my ribs were sore throughout the whole night, but the part that kind of started freaking me out was the fact that I randomly felt this little popping sensation in my ribs. Like on the right side of my ribs, I just felt this little pop sensation, and then my ribs just started hurting like crazy. Like I could barely breathe, it hurt so much. Like every time I would talk, my ribs would just hurt like crazy, and it's just hard to talk, it was hard to breathe. So I thought that maybe I broke my ribs and like I punctured my lung or something. So that's the main thing that made me want to go to the emergency room, just to make sure that I wasn't gonna die or something. But after I got checked out and I got treated for this crap, I've just been sleeping it off for the most part. And I feel a lot better so far. It's only been a few days, but I feel a lot better than I did. My ribs don't hurt nearly as much, obviously, as you can tell, because I can talk and be retarded and I can spaz out to an extent. My ribs still hurt, but they don't hurt nearly as much. My arm still hurts, but it only hurts when I move it. So I try to keep it in place as much as possible. It's just such a bitch trying to sleep now, because I gotta either sleep on my back, and I can't sleep on my back. It's hard to sleep on my back because I'm a bitch. I'm always tossing and turning all night. So I try to sleep on my back and it just doesn't work. So I try to sleep on my side. That doesn't work. So I sleep on my back again. That doesn't work. Next thing I know, the sun's already coming up. But that's nothing new there. It's always such a pain in the ass for me to sleep. Yeah, I'm getting better, obviously. I'm recovering from this broken arm. Wanted to tell you all that my arm is broken and I'm getting better. I'll probably make another video after I go to the doctor and find out, whenever I'm gonna be put in a cast. Make more videos of that. And no, I'm not gonna have people sign my cast with retarded messages. Screw you. I haven't even socialized with anyone in in months anyway. Going to the hospital was the first time in months that I've like really interacted with anyone, especially like, you know, that close. I've never been that close to someone before. I was just like thinking in my head like I'm gonna get sick. Like after I got out of the hospital, I was just waiting like day after day after day. I was just expecting to wake up feeling like shit. I was expecting to wake up like coughing or having a fever or not being able to breathe or something. Because that's how blown out of proportion this stupid virus is. Oh, I've heard too many horror stories, damn it. I'm not catching that stupid coronavirus. I know that chances are if I caught it, I would probably just get deathly sick and then I'd get over it in like a week or two. But it's like, I've been through enough. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to deal with any more shit. Stay tuned for more videos. See you, folks.